Hello, my name is Ryan Nelson, and this is a screencast for explaining the differences of monocots and eudicots using a smartboard. This is a great way for this lesson to become a little bit more interactive for your students. So if you've been looking for a way to make it more interactive, using a smartboard would be a great example. So this lesson plan has a couple lesson objectives. The student should be able to distinguish between monocots and eudicots. They should be able to identify characteristics of monocots and eudicots. They should be able to create an illustration of a monocot or eudicot based on the characteristics outlined in this class. This is for biology, 10th grade, and the students should have a basic knowledge of plant anatomy going in, and just some lesson notes that you can use to follow this lesson plan. So the first slide is basically a refresher for the students. We're going to ask them to label the parts of the flower. All the parts are down here. So the students will just be asked to come to the board and just click and drag over to the correct location. So each student will be asked to do this. This will give each of them a turn, allowing them to identify each characteristic of the plant. Once this has been completed and everything has been identified, then you can move on to the following slide. This slide is for identifying the part flowers, or the flower parts, for both monocot and eudicots. So typically monocots will have 3 parts and eudicots will have 5 or 4 parts. So you're going to ask the students just to come up to the board, click and drag into the correct location. As each of the students completes that, you can move on to the next slide. This slide will be dealing with the leaf venation. Monocots are typically parallel, while the eudicots are netted. So we're just going to have the students each come up and just place them into the correct category. Once they have been all placed, you can check to make sure it is correct. So they all are correct, so you'd be able to move on to the next slide. So this slide is going to be dealing with secondary growth, which is present in eudicots but absent in monocots. So you're just going to click here. So there's no secondary growth on this flower plant. So they're just going to have to come down here, go to the board, and then just write with the stylist monocot. So I do apologize for my handwriting. I don't have a mouse, so I'm just kind of doing this with the keypad on my laptop. So here we go. There we go. Monocot, it checked off, and then it just goes to the next picture. Have another student come up and identify it, and then you can move on to the final slide, which is a Venn diagram to compare and contrast the similarities and differences of monocots and eudicots. This is a great way to complete the lesson and just bring some closure. It will allow the students to really see the similarities and differences of both monocots and eudicots. I do appreciate you for tuning in, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.